Hi guys, it's your girl LEAH Marville. There's a word that's been on my heart from the beginning of 2021, and I know we're just a few days in, but it's really been cemented there. And it's a word that you already know. It's a word that we've heard time and time again. We've read books about it. It's definitely in our arsenal, but it may be a word that we need to be reminded of. The word is alchemy. And of course, many of you have heard of the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And if you haven't, it's definitely a must read. It's, for most people, it's been life-changing. So the word alchemy, and alchemy means to transform, to create, to combine materials and make it into something else. So for example, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Lemonade is alchemy of lemons. So I thought it was a great message and a great word to remember as we go through 2021. 2020 was hard. For some people, it was life-changing. For some people, it was devastating. For some people, they died to their old self and became something new. People pivoted, they started new jobs. Some people even made the most money they've ever made in their entire lives. What is true of 2020 is that it was life-changing in some way. Keeping the word alchemy at the back of our minds gives us an opportunity to objectively look at every single situation that happens in life. As we move forward in 2021 in a stage and a space of uncertainty, and knowing that there's a measure of control that we do not have in life, I think the word alchemy will take us through. And here's why. It's not about creating this positive outlook on life. You know, people, sometimes we hear motivators and speakers say to us all the time, just stay positive, or you direct your thoughts to what it is that you want to attract. Yes, that is all well and good, but there's a part of going through life where you have to just acknowledge that there are lemons in your hands, that life has given you these lemons, and then look at those lemons and say, okay, now that these are here, how can I use them? And that process, that coming to understand what that is, how can I use these lemons to make something better for myself, to grow, to expand, to evolve, that is alchemy. So there are 5 steps I want you to take in order to alchemize the lemons that life gives you. Okay, so you find yourself in a situation, you look and you say, okay, these lemons are in my hand. What now do I do? 5 steps. The first thing is to acknowledge. Acknowledge that life has given you these lemons, that this is where you are right now in this moment, and you cannot change it. You have no control. This is what is in front of you. Acknowledge them because it's important, because to ignore it will bring suffering. Label them. And acknowledging and labeling are 2 different things. Labeling them allows you to sift through what it is that you're facing. It allows you to sift through your feelings as well. So these are the types of lemons I have. This is what it's called, right? Step 3, feel. Yeah. And this is the part that a lot of us don't like to do. We've got to feel. Because when life gives us lemons, it makes us feel something. It makes us feel bad. We feel, whatever it is, whatever those lemons are, whether it's rejection, we feel sad, we feel grief, we feel pain, physical pain, emotional pain, we feel confused. It brings us discomfort because it's new. It's challenging because I've never been here before. It makes me feel insecure. Whatever it is, you've got to feel it. You've got to feel it. Because feeling it will bring you the answers. Feeling it would allow you to sit and process it. Because in order to alchemize, in order to create the lemonade from those lemons, you have to go through the process. You cannot skip over it. You cannot sweep it under the carpet. You have to go through it, and in order to go through it, you have to feel it. 4th step is pause. And the reason I put pause in there is because we don't often like to pause in the midst of emotions. So we might feel it for a day and then think, okay, it's time to move on. No, it is not. Sometimes feelings come in seasons. and it takes time. It takes time to process. There are layers to it. Maybe you know, there are different stages of the grieving process. Whatever it is that maybe you have lost something or someone, you've got to pause. You've got to give yourself the grace to pause, to feel, and to make it through those emotions. When you feel like you've had enough time and it's passed, then I want you to ask the question, how can I use this? How can I use this moment in time to grow? How can I use this moment to expand? How? When you start to ask how, the answers will appear. Your mind will start to acknowledge the spaces, the opportunities, the avenues. You will find, just maybe randomly, something pops into your mind. Once you keep asking yourself, how can I use this? You know what it also does? It opens up the willingness inside of you. It makes you open to new perspectives, to new opportunities, and it takes you out of that pause and into movement. And so the last point, I believe we're on our 5th point, and if it's not 5, it's 6, but we're here. The last point is to implement. Because often we can be in a space where we will hold on to those lemons so very tightly in our hands, and we walk around with this whole bucket of lemon, and every time we introduce someone, every time we meet someone, is the lemons that we're introducing them to first. Sometimes the lemon is prefacing our name, so instead we'll be like, Lemon Leah Marville. You know, we walk around telling the story of what life has done to us. And so I want to say the last stage is to implement and move. Put those changes into execution, into growth. Which direction are we going in? How are we making this lemonade? What is it going to taste like? What are the ingredients going to be? Who am I going to serve this lemonade to? How is this lemonade going to nourish me? And so that, my friends, I just wanted to come and leave this message for you. The word is alchemy: love, light, and possibility.